Robbie here. Don't forget to join us for the Weekend Roundup live on Monday the 3rd of June at Toca Social at the O2. And you can come along and try and cook us. But you ain't going to want to cook me, because I'm going to be cooking Abby, Matisse, Flex, and that AGT and his stats are getting it as well. You do not want to miss this. Come along, you can join the fun, you can play football with us, watch the England game, which is also going to be taking place on the night, and it's going to be massive. So get your tickets right now by clicking the link in the description. The tickets are selling fast, so don't waste no time. Join us for the Weekend Roundup live, Monday the 3rd of June at Toca Social.
How's it going, people? Are you sneezing there or what?
No, I could hear.
Oh, James.
I could hear Jordan dropping things during the intro.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I could hear it as well. I was thinking, what's going on, Randy?
Sorry.
There's a lovely bit of guitar playing intro. We're having our fun, and you can just hear.
I was scrambling to sort some stuff out.
And then when the screen comes back, he's like this. What's going on?
Sorry.
Well, it's been a week, people. It's been a week. Hopefully, you've missed us. We've missed you. Hopefully, you're good. Big up Jordan. Big up Lee. Big up James as usual. Big up James, especially. He's back from a mini holiday. I say mini holiday and holiday. Well deserved at the end of the season. I'm sure Jordan and Lee will be following up with a holiday of their own soon enough anyway. Before we get into that, all the holiday stuff, people, as you can see from the screen, big up eToro. They are sponsoring the Fourever Arsenal podcast today. And if you're interested in investing but find it hard to make time with work, family, and football, then check them out. The app makes it investing simple and convenient for busy football fans like us. With eToro's user-friendly app, you can manage your investments on the go. Get instant access to market data, calendars, trading tools to stay on top of your investment game. eToro is more than just an investment platform, people. It's a social community, so you can use the CopyTrader feature to follow successful investors and learn from their strategies while building your own portfolio. Trade over 5,000 financial instruments, including 70 cryptocurrencies on 20-plus exchanges. Join over 30 million investors shaping their financial future with eToro. And you can even use eToro to make practice trades, so you can have a go with it, play around before you commit to real trading. Start investing with eToro today, people. Click the link in the description or go to etoro.com/AFTV and check them out. Thank you to my lovely assistant, James, there, pointing over to the link. Big up eToro, people. Go show them some love. If you're a trader, obviously, you know what they're about already. If you're not and you're interested, again, you can practice on their app as well. So give it a go, people. Show them some love. They're showing us some love. But let's get into it. It's been about 10 days since we've done our last pod. We've moved to one a week, people, throughout the transfer window and the summer. Not much change on the Arsenal front. Obviously, United have won the FA Cup in between our last show and this one here. And yeah, that question's been ringing through a lot of our ears. I know it, having had a little conversation prior to going live. But on the Arsenal front, I mean, nothing new. Did we expect anything new? Me personally, no. Jordan, it seems like you've got something to.
It's been 20 years, ain't winning shit.
I've just forgot about that fucking song, Jordan. I've just forgot about it.
Listen.
It was stuck in my head, you know.
I can't get it out of my head. Listen, first of all, shout out production on the DR Sports channel. That video is absolutely insane. For those that haven't seen or heard it, go check out KG and Expressions ripping the hell out of Robbie and Arsenal fan to a music video. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, that could chart for real. I think KG was saying it could chart. That could chart. That could definitely do well in the charts.
You know what's a bigger killer as well? I clipped the "you ain't winning shit" bit, and I also clipped KG saying we're gonna win 2-1. And I put them together, and I thought I'm definitely sending this out there once they lose it.
They lose,
I've never deleted something so quick out of my drafts.
In answer to your question, I mean, I'll let the boys kind of elaborate on this a bit more because I knew this question was going to come up. I don't care. I don't particularly care.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard Robbie saying, and I think Robbie kind of summed it up quite well. Maybe we're just playing with words here. They maybe had the more successful season because I do think that trophies are linked to success. You can't say you were successful if you've not won something. You have to win something to be successful. But in terms of the better season, I mean, I'd rather be an Arsenal fan than a United fan. I think that's the best way of putting it. I think we're in a better place. I think over the 9 months, I think we had more ups and highs, moments of joy, even without lifting a trophy. So, look, if United want to kind of, I remember the days when Man United fans an FA Cup win was like an add-on. It was a bonus. It was a nice day out. It was the ribbon on the prize of a Prem or a Champions League. And now they're winning League Cups and FA Cups and they're gloating. And it's like, cool. If you're a cup team now, fine. We were a cup team 10 years ago. We're looking for bigger things. And if people want to have that discussion around, they've had a better season than us, crack on. Me personally, I don't really care.
It's I say it's funny how the football world works, but yeah, I'm with you. The aim is not to do better than Man United going in the season. So all of a sudden, the question is, have we had a better season? I don't care. I actually think they have. I mean, part of me defining better is success and trophies. Obviously, it's not everything to define better, but I think it's definitely got the largest chunk of percentage to define what's been a better season. And they've won an FA Cup, and I love the FA Cup. We love the FA Cup. Arsenal love the FA Cup. It's our cup. It's the one we have the most heritage in. So I didn't really care when they won it. I actually thought, you know what, Man City, good. And then, like Lee said before we went live, then you started seeing the tweets, the messages started going through, the WhatsApp group started, the question just started. I just don't get it. Last year, City done a treble. Arsenal were trending. This year, Man United win the FA Cup against their fierce local rivals, and Arsenal are trending again. I'm like, what's wrong with everyone? Leave us alone for a little bit. Fucking hell, it's been 10 days since we played. It's over. We lost the league by 2 points. It's done.
Yeah, I do think though that we were saying like, what were you saying, Turkish? I think on the Tottenham City watch on, you were saying, I hope the Arsenal players watch this and take it in. How happy the City players were. In kind of a weird way. I also hope they're sort of seeing that with the domestic cups. And I'm not saying that that's like, I want to win I want every trophy. But I also hope that they kind of do reflect on the last 2 years where we've had a team good enough to win the FA Cup, albeit City won it last year. Good enough to win at least a Carabao. And let's not forget the Europa League was in there too. Now, I know, obviously, we never wanted to be in the Europa League. We want to be in the Champions League. But if you're in it, at least bring it home. I actually think to win it, it's actually a pretty big competition. And we fell so short in all those areas. So I'm really positive about the future of this club. I'm really, really excited. I do believe trophies are coming. It's just disappointing that it's another season without one. And United fans, as bad a season as they've had, we're having, now they've got an FA Cup, which is a moment in their history, a great moment. They've beaten Manchester City, not only a Man City side that have won 4 in a row, but a Man City side that, it's their rivals, it's a derby. And to do that at Wembley after they'd just done the 4P, I thought was actually quite a good response from Man United, especially with everything that's been going on off field. So credit to them. I agree. They've had a more, successful season. But I'm kind of very confident in our team to be able to just, say fair play, well done, congratulations, and keep it moving on our end. I don't feel the need to massively defend our season and our campaign, and don't feel insecure enough to sort of have to explain to everyone why I'm super happy being an Arsenal fan and not a United fan. I'm just like, no, like I loved winning the FA Cup. You guys got to remember, I became a fan after 2004, so I've only seen FA Cup wins. They meant the world to me. So I get it. I get the euphoria of winning that, but I'm just sort of excited for what's to come in our future because I believe that will come as well.
And that's so importantly because you're old school and trophies are a big definer of success of a better season. And as much as Man United have pulled it out, we've been there. We met during times where we were winning FA Cups, but we were still furious with the season. We were still dejected about what's coming up. So we've been there, and we know that behind that mask that after an FA Cup win where you're smiling, you're happy, behind that mask it comes off eventually, and when it comes off, the realization hits that you are still not that club. We've been there with Arsenal. One of my biggest interviews, the FA Cup final one, I think is the last one, where I said, relax people, let's enjoy it, but this ain't our first FA Cup, it won't be our last, but what we need to do is build off of it, and touch wood, we've built off of it. We are now, in a title challenging era, but Lee, it has to bring the trophies. Otherwise, when people do look back and compare it to other nearly men or nearly teams in the Prem, we would be included in that. So this coming season is a massive one. And what the part of the question that not hurts but annoys is because I'm so confident we're going to win a major. I'm so confident that I want to say, would you take a 3-year period where you challenge twice and win a Premier League, or would you take a 3-year period where you've won an FA Cup and Carabao and finished out at the top 4 3 times? I want to say that, but I can't, because Arsenal haven't delivered that yet. So far, if we're looking at it, 2 years United have won trophies, 2 years we've challenged for title but haven't won anything. We've got to get it over the line now. So none of these questions exist, Lee.
Exactly that. If we win the league next year, all will be worthwhile, because it's been building up to get to that Premier League. The thing is with the FA Cup, and listen, I'm a big fan of the FA Cup, but it's a great day out and all that. But we've been where Man United are right now. We've been stopped your rivals winning the double. We've done that with Chelsea. Do you remember when Aaron Ramsey scored? Like, they was going for the double that season. Won the league. We went to Wembley, turned them up. Nothing better feeling. I've got to say that, like, you know what I mean? So win the FA Cup at Wembley, the day out and all that is fantastic. And yeah, you want that. But once it all dies down, the reality sticks in that you got Thursday night football, Europa League, and then as much as you're enjoying that, you're looking at it and going, I want to be challenging for the title. I want to be in the Champions League and things like that. And when you look at who's had the better season, well, I look at it as a whole. 38 games, 14 of them their fans have gone into the stadium or watched it on telly and lost. Probably every single game that they've gone to this season, and including that FA Cup final, they've walked through the turnstiles or put the telly on. They don't know exactly what they're going to get. They don't know if they're going to get beaten. They don't know if they're going to get stuffed. They don't know if they're going to get win. They don't know nothing. Inconsistencies like we've had. We've gone to games you think, we're going to get beat today, and ended up winning. And then you've gone to Liverpool and lost 4-0 and things like that, which has happened with them all this season. They've been stuffed quite a few times. But like Arsenal, they are capable of producing results. They produced a result against Liverpool in the FA Cup. Great result. But when you win the FA Cup, do you remember I think we won the FA Cup, got to the Cup final, didn't play a team in the Premier League one year to get there. Played like non-league teams in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. You have to have a little bit of luck in the FA Cup and put it in perspective. But winning the FA Cup, as James alluded to, is an unbelievable experience. It is. And winning trophies is sometimes what it's all about. But the FA Cup, when we won it in 4 years ago, didn't catapult us to success. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean to say, right, we're going to win the FA Cup now, you're going to go on and do that. It's bloody hard work to challenge week in, week out. And the last 2 seasons have been memorable from that point of view, of going all around the places and thinking you've got a chance of winning something. And we've been there, boys, when we've been celebrating and partying because we've got top 4. You know what I mean? Like, I remember Newcastle away when we just, when Koscielny scored it, it was a big party because we got top 4. We've gone beyond that now. So don't worry about what other people's teams are doing and all that. That's up to them. Do you think that they were worried about us when we was winning things and not win? No, but they're worried about us now. Teams are worried about us now. That's why you're getting all of this stuff now, because when we won the FA Cup in 2000 and whatever it was now against Chelsea, no one was saying, that's it now, Arsenal going to win the league, they're going to be there. I'm not really, focused on other teams at this moment in time. Like, you know, I'm going to be really honest. I wanted Man United to win it. It cost us a Community Shield. I like going to Wembley for the Community Shield. I weren't that bothered about the Community Shield. I want to get, if I'm really be honest, I want to get to the Community Shield by merit, by winning. I want to go to the Community Shield next year as champions, not as runners up. So I wasn't that bothered about that. You know, people going, oh, I wanted to go to that. Like, yeah, well, the Emirates Cup's very, very good. It's an enjoyable day out. It's cheaper. So I'm not that fussed about it. But and I did want to see Man City lose. I do. I don't like them. You know, I've got a lot of rivalry with Man United, and I think it was good for football that Man United won that game, because it also showed that they're not this unbelievable machine. They can be beaten if you apply yourselves properly. And they had a bad day, Man City. They did, but they could have still, if Haaland's shot hits the bar, goes in, that they probably could have gone on and won that. You need a little bit of luck in these competitions and all that. But 38 games is, you know, you're constantly doing it week in, week out. And listen, I'm love the FA Cup, but I've loved Arsenal being challenging for the title. That's what I've always, even when we was winning FA Cups, I was always saying, you know, let's be honest, people still wanting Wenger out. Why? Because we wanted a challenge. And we are challenging now, and that's the most important thing. But we've got to get it over the line next year, boys. We have, and hopefully we will.
I agree 100% with Lee. I think my final word on United would be that I judge teams based off of league performances, first of all. I think you judge, especially serious big teams, you judge them over the course of their domestic league season, right? That's the ultimate test. Play everybody twice, home and away. That's, for me, where you get a barometer of how good a team really is. Lee also used another key word there as well, luck. Man United, they did beat Liverpool and City to win the FA Cup. They also had Coventry and Newport, and both of those games they almost messed up anyway. So to win a cup, for me, it's random. It is random. So that's why I would never really place winning a trophy, a tournament over a league, because a tournament, it's about the draw. And it's the reason why, if you ask me any day of the week, I'll take a Premier League over a Champions League, because the Premier League for me is the ultimate test. It's every single week. It's relentless. It's consistency. It's playing different types of teams across the league and having to be on your game every single 7 days. So yeah, United, well done. I can't be a hypocrite. I always feel that with the cups, just win. Performances don't matter, and they won, and they deserved to win the game. They were the much better team on the day, so there's no saltiness from me here. But don't come to my door chatting about they had a better season, because as Lee said, 14 defeats, bottom of their Champions League group, knocked out by Newcastle in the League Cup 3-0 at home. No, sorry.
Well, interestingly, Liverpool can make a strong argument. You know, we say we push them all the way, City. But Liverpool were in a title race people didn't expect them to be in, and won a Carabao Cup. So I think they've got a real argument.
100%.
You know, we won a trophy, and okay, we fell away almost like we did last season, but they weren't expected to be there anyway. So that's a real debate.
Off the back of this, can I just ask, is it just a general consensus amongst us four? Premier League title or Champions League a must next season?
It's all context.
Yeah, not for me.
I know everyone wants the quote, right? Everyone wants, yes, you know, win it or he's gone. But like, okay, so if he comes second and gets to the Champions League final, am I saying that I've just seen Chelsea sack their manager and Man United think about sacking their manager, and the list of names that they're all looking at is like diabolical. And I'm not saying none of them will go on to, because they're all promising young coaches. But it's not like a couple of years ago where they were picking from Tuchel, Nagelsmann, Hansi Flick, whoever it might be. So it's all context. If some amazing if Arteta, you know, went another season without winning a trophy, and Pep Guardiola went, by the way, I'm a secret Arsenal fan. I've always wanted to manage Arsenal. I'm available now. I've left Man City. Like, we have a conversation. For me, it's just all context. There is pressure to deliver trophies. 100% there is. But like, do we just live in a deliver or you're gone
I agree.
Not for me. You can't, surely.
It's not binary to me. I think we did on the last pod, didn't we, Turkish, where I think you said you expect the Prem next year. I disagree, but I totally understand and accept that point of view. For me, it's I expect a trophy next year. I think the pressure I'm putting on Mikel Arteta is he has to win something next year alongside compete for the title. So what I mean by that is I think he has to, at bare minimum, top two, compete for the title again. Nothing other than top two for me is acceptable in the Premier League and the trophy. So if he gets the League Cup and does this domestic season again, for me, that's acceptable. For me, you can't, as Arsenal, go 5 years without lifting the trophy. That's just not acceptable. But we're also in a place where competing for the title is also a must.
Okay, let me let.
Sorry, I just think this summer is massive for Arsenal because they've got to build a squad that's capable of competing in every competition. Now, when you look at that, the Champions League is more games. I think it's 4 more games, if I'm right, this time around. So you've got to build a squad that's going to be competitive in every single game. I don't want that, like, you know, bombing out of cup competitions and early doors and then everybody turning around and going, oh, well, you know, if that does happen, then he's going to have to deliver the Premier League or the Champions. If that's the way you're going, if you keep, what's the word? I don't want to say like disrespecting him, but if you keep going out of those competitions early, right, and playing weakened teams and losing, right, then you must deliver one of those big ones. That is something that he's got to do. So I think he's got to focus this summer that we have got to. When you turn around and say, "Oh, we're going to sign a midfield player," that means then if you sign a midfield player, that if that midfield player is not playing, Thomas Partey comes in and you ain't got to drop off. But if you're letting players go, and then at the end of it, we're not competing in every competition come the end of it, then there will be pressure on him. There will be, and rightly so. But I believe that he will deliver. The Champions League, you know, that's you can win that and not be the best team in it. But I think the Premier League, as you say, Manchester City are going to be there and there again. That you're up against them. You've got to, you know, you can't say, right, yeah, throw all your eggs in one basket. I really don't, because there is going to be like this, and I'm sure he must be listening to this as well when you're going to win a trophy as well, because it's getting me down, and I ain't even Mikel Arteta like. It gives me the hump a little bit, if I'll be honest. Oh, he's got to win a trophy after the season we've had. Got to win, but I get it. So bloody deliver it.
One thing I loved last season, yeah, and it came at a weird time, but I loved it that it came at this time. And I mentioned it a few times. I'm gonna mention it again because it's happened again this season. But at the end of last season, last game of the season, when the players come out, they do their rounds. Before they do their rounds, they talk. You know, the manager talks, the captain talks. I forget what order it's in. But I remember last year, last game of the season, I remember when they was on the mic, the tone was disappointment. And they could have easily used and set the tone as excitement. They could have easily used that season to set the tone of, look, we've challenged for a title, we've bottled it, but we go again. The tone was disappointment from the first word on the mic from Odegaard and the first word on the mic from Mikel. Now, again, I look at Mikel's or little speech at the end of the last one, and one line, I've tweeted it: don't be satisfied. We want much more than this, and we're going to get it. Those words, I'm with him. I'm with him because the standards are there. He's saying himself, if I don't win shit, this ain't a success. He's been saying that over the years. He's telling the ones that get too excited, that kind of annoy me at times throughout the season, relax. Let's get over the line. Let's win it. It's coming. Be confident. But, you know, let's not rest on just this, because this has been good. It's been that feeling's back, you know, with the fans and the club. That feeling's back. And you need that feeling first and foremost. But don't rest on your laurels. This team is going places. If my manager's saying that, he's setting his own standards. He's setting his own expectations that no one can set more expectations than that. Yeah. Don't rest on second. We are going to get more. Yeah. No one, even his biggest haters, can't say anything harsher than that metric. We are going to get more than second. So, you know, if my manager's saying it, then I'm with you.
He's been doing that throughout. Like, I think when we started to turn a corner 2 years ago, when we were chasing for the Champions League and then we were challenging for the title that first season, he kept saying, like, he keeps like going to that line, we haven't done anything yet. He always says that. You know, and I think when you've got sort of people who are really praising you for your work, it'd be quite easy to go, yeah, obviously we're very happy with the progress and blah blah. And there's always that to a degree. You know, he does acknowledge how far they've come, but he does say we haven't done anything yet. Yeah.
So one question I ask you, like, you know, and you say about progress and all that. What day did you celebrate getting top 4?
What day did that? Say that again.
What day did you celebrate getting top 4?
You mean this? You mean this season? Like what?
Yeah,
when
the day you went out there going, yes, we got top 4. When did you do it?
No, exactly.
Never have, never will.
There you go. You didn't, did you? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, you was doing that. That's the progression you got. When we got top 4, when we got top 4 this year, I didn't even know when we got top 4 because the focus was on completely something more, far bigger than that. And that's the progress that we've made over the last couple of years. We've not celebrated top 4 for the last 2 years, even though that we've got in it. I remember coming out of White Hart Lane 3 seasons ago when they were all going mad about it, like, you know, celebrating top 4. You know, I'm not knocking that because we've done it. But now, I don't know what, you know, someone tell me what day it was because I don't really know what day it was. That's the progression we're making at the moment. Like, you know, we're going for it. We're in with a chance. And you know, just be really realistic, boys. We're not going to be favourites next season as well. Like, you know what I mean? People are going to go, oh, you've got to win it next season. I guarantee when the bookies come out for the first game of the season, don't matter who we've signed and who we haven't, I bet we're not favourites.
Yeah, well, we won't be.
And we shouldn't be. You know, the City have still got the best manager in the league. City have still got, at the time of recording, probably the best squad and most experienced winning team in the league. So unless we sign, I don't know, Kylian Mbappe, and you know what I mean, those level players, we shouldn't be favourites. Can we just talk a little bit about what we think Pep Guardiola's possible final season could mean for not only the league but for us? And does that, if it is true that he's going to leave, do we think that is a good thing for City and they'll, as the Liverpool narrative was, they're going to pull together, or actually it could be a bad thing? And secondly, should we be concerned about Mikel Arteta not signing his contract extension?
It's a good question.
He'll
sign it.
Yeah.
He'll sign it. No question. In my opinion, I'm not saying that doesn't mean
it's signed before the season starts as well.
Yeah, I'm confident he'll sign it. The Pep thing's interesting. I mean, and I will answer that question, but it did just remind me of what we were talking about with that FA Cup final. Social media, and you know, and also Arsenal, Man United have a big rivalry. Don't get me wrong, but it was quite nice to see City look vulnerable and look like they didn't have the answers in a cup final, and look like they didn't. For once, they just didn't look the better team. They looked poor tactically. They looked poor physically. You know what I mean? They looked so off it. And I think having gone toe to toe with them the last 2 seasons, it was quite nice to see them kind of fall short. Even when Real Madrid knocked them out, it was on penalties, and they're the better team that game. This was a game where you actually thought, oh, they lost and they deserved to lose. So that was good. I mean, in terms of Pep Guardiola and his last season, I don't know. I'll sort of believe it when it's when it really is real. I think at the moment I'm just like, you know, he's thinking about it, but is there a better club for him right now? You know, if they turn, you know, I don't know. If
there might be
players, he gets excited about it. I mean, could he sign an extension? Why not? I feel like he's achieved so much in football. Who's to say he doesn't want to do something more kind of, you know, beyond the 10 years? You know, he might see that as the next thing to kind of pull off. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. But obviously, Arsenal fans are maybe starting to feel like there's then a gap in the market. You know, are City going to be the same without Guardiola? Probably not. But I still expect them to be very, very good. What are you going to say, Lee?
No, like he's he might be going into a season with a deficit of points the following season or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So there would be better options for him. Like, you know. We'll have to wait and see. It's very, very interesting that the Premier League again this season is going to start off with teams with deductions of points, isn't it? Everton are going to get deductions of points. Leicester are going to go into this season with deduction of points. Possibly Chelsea if they don't sort things out, and Nottingham Forest. And then the following season, more than likely, Manchester City will be having some sort of points deduction. So it will be, a tough whoever takes over, even if he continues. And I think with Pep, I think time is key. I think that what he'll do is he'll have another year off, and then he'll pick wherever he wants to go, and maybe Barcelona, back to Barcelona. But Barcelona's a tough gig these days, isn't it? So we'll have to wait and see. But I think he's been very, very clever with what he's doing. Like, why would you commit to Manchester City at the moment and say, right, I'm going to do 3 or 4 years, and you don't really know what's going to happen? So I'd be a little bit more worried if he did sign a new 3 or 4 year deal, because I think like that he might know something that we don't. So why he doesn't sign that deal and why he keeps that, I'm quite happy about it, really. If I'll be honest,
I'll be real. I kind of hope he does stay. I really hope he does stay. One, I just think he's a genius, but I hope he stays because I want Arteta to beat him. I want Arteta to beat him. I don't want to. I mentioned the whole tennis reference on the last part. I want to win this Prem with the greatest manager of all time in it. I want to beat him. I don't want to win it the year after when, do you know what I mean? He stepped away and City are going through a transition. I want to beat City at their best. Maybe that's just me being a bit sadistic.
No, I agree with that.
I don't want him to go.
I didn't want Ferguson to go. Do you remember when Arsenal were really in the heat of battle with Man United, and then Ferguson said that he was retiring? When he said he weren't retiring, I was delighted, because part of the thing was was Wenger versus Ferguson as well, as well as it being Arsenal Man United. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. You know what I mean? I think that
I'm with you, but I'm sick of him. He's a genius. He's great for sure, but I'm just sick of him. Like, I don't know if it's me, or I just think for this era, he's too good. At least when Sir Alex was about, you'd have managers who'd come in and really test him. Like, you'd have Wenger take 3 titles in 7 years off him, do the Invincibles, etc. Then you'd have Jose Mourinho come in, and it's like a battle between them. It's like pull here, pull there. With Pep, it's not a battle. Even with Klopp, who's probably the second best manager of this generation here.
But that is the battle, beating the best. That is the ultimate test.
Wow.
If Arsenal can beat Manchester City, man can't
beat
chat
the
to
best
me.
of his son. That it's mad.
I think
I like the battle personally.
Yeah, I'm desperate to beat Pep. I wanted Arteta to win it this season, because to have beaten Klopp and Pep to it would have been amazing. But if he can beat Pep to it next year, it would be incredible as well. I think with Pep, part of the boredom, and come in on this, Turkish, if you agree, because I know you've spoken on similar things before. Football, his influence on football has been amazing, but like, I'm ready for something a bit different. I don't know. I'm ready for just a mix up and a shake up in the Premier League. I don't know. I don't know. City won their fourth title. We were all just kind of used to it. I don't know. Maybe that's just sore loser Arsenal fan. Easy to say that, isn't it? And I get it. I don't know, but
sounds a little bit salty there. Sounds like, if because we missed out, we're a little bit salty. Come on, James.
No, I don't think it is. I think if you asked around the Premier League, I think the general feeling from fans is City won another one. I think that's generally the feeling. Now,
there's apathy. There's apathy for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't expect City fans to give it.
Teams want City to win it as well. I know it sounds silly because it makes them look better. Like, and I don't mean, when Arsenal were playing, I wanted Liverpool to beat them, to be honest, when they was going against them. But when City win, you think, oh well, you can take the consolation, like, you know what I mean. They've got what they have, and they win it, like, But when you're in it, you feel different. I feel different towards Man City than I did two seasons ago. I really do. I felt for Liverpool. Do you know when Liverpool went one game unbeaten, They lost one game.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And still didn't win the league. You know what I mean? I'd sort of like go, well, that's that's unlucky. But I never felt their pain. I just thought, oh, that's very bad. I feel their pain now because we've been there. And other teams don't feel that pain. So they just think, oh, that's all right. Like Man City winning it. It's like West Ham fans all desperately wanted Declan Rice to go to Man City because if Man City are expected to win things and whatever, if they didn't want him going to Arsenal because they didn't want him to win things at Arsenal, but they accepted being Manchester City. It's just this exception, and I get why, and it needs someone to come along and just bump them off. I'll tell you what's a great thing. We talked about tennis the other day. Nadal was like so good on clay. It was just win. But look at him now. Look at him. It was sad to see. Right, I'm going to tell you this now. If Manchester City go like that, I won't be sad. I won't.
I mean, I want to say that I don't expect City fans to care one bit whether the rest of the Premier League is apathetic towards their dominance. They should be soaking in and enjoying every minute of it because what they've done is special. What Pep Guardiola is doing is special. Now, I know the charges and all that, but I mean, let's just see. I mean, at the moment, that team, that manager, what they're doing is really, really good. I just think that he's been so good, like you said, that it's kind of this. I think in a perfect world, I want Arteta to topple it. I would like the perfect storyline from an Arsenal fan's perspective is I want Arteta to win the league with Pep in it, beat him to the title, show that he could, better the master, which would be, just to beat him to it would be incredible. And then there's a bit of a shake up in the Premier League, in terms of new managers, a new era, a new styles of football coming back into the game. And not to be too boring about it, but there's all this talk about, style of play that's been very positional based, moving back towards giving the power back to the players a little bit in modern coaching. Like, I want to see just the next era of football. That's what I mean. It's not about just going, oh, City win everything, which means we're not winning trophies, so please leave. It's boring. It's not that. It's just I think we're ready for. When did Pep Guardiola come in? 2016? 2016-17 was his first season.
I think he's done 9 years.
Yeah, so I'm just ready for something new. That's all. That's not necessarily with Pep. I feel like symbolizes it, but it's about other managers doing it as well. It's about other styles of play. It's about we're kind of in this era where kind of other than Erling Haaland, who's got like a number 9 they're really proud of. Like I'm ready for like another era of like great number 9s to come through. Don't just mix up in the game. That's all.
I also think, guys, that I know, like this sounds silly, but maybe that result on in the FA Cup was a little bit down to Arsenal, because we grind them down. All they had to be perfect for so many months that that they do feel the Arsenal. So coming into next season, they'll be looking over at we're going to win the. We know we're going to win the league. Maybe next season they won't.
I like that one, Lee. I'll use that, but I'll tell my Man United fans.
No. I'm not saying about Man United. I'm not saying about that result. I'm saying like at the end of the day, they've been having to be on it every single game. We've got to win. Somewhere along the line, that must take its toll. And I'm not saying like Arsenal. What I'm saying is Arsenal keep pushing. Maybe we can push through. You know what I'm saying? Like, and make City a little bit more vulnerable, because at the end of the day, sitting there, Pep, and I did hear when he turned around and said, "Oh, Arsenal give us, one level of a tough ride, and they'll be again there next season." Manchester City know if they're not on point, Arsenal can take them. They know that now. Like, I think the season before, I always felt that Manchester City knew that they was going to win the league, even though we were so many points in front. Like, and this one now, they've had to make sure. I think next season there'd be a little bit more. Oh, I don't know. Arsenal could take us this season. If we're not on point, Arsenal can take us. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? So,
you hope so.
I think also as well, we have the discussion around the landscape of the league, right? So, if we will no doubt be the biggest contenders to City's throne, if you like. But I don't think United can be any worse. I don't think Chelsea can be any worse. I think Villa are going to kick on. I think Spurs are going to kick on. And Liverpool, even if they stand still, are going to be in the mix. Now, those are words, right? It's very... I remember people saying 2 years ago, oh, United can't be any worse. United can't be any worse. And they got worse. So there's a bit of caution in what I'm saying there. But if the landscape of the league and the level of the league slightly rises, you'd think they would take more points off City, because a lot of those top teams just can't get any worse. So we're the number one contender to that number one spot. But I just wonder if everybody else raises their level 10%, if that actually goes for us or against us. Because if everyone else getting better means more points off City, but we have a really good record this year in the top 6 table. So does that also mean more points taken off us?
I actually think those teams get worse.
Really?
I think we will see some drop-offs personally. But Chelsea ended
name
well
names. Name names.
Well, Chelsea shot themselves in the foot. Chelsea have.
I'm not going to be the Arsenal fan who, is going to be hypercritical before a ball is kicked of Chelsea hiring Man City's assistant manager, because that's worked quite well for us. So I'll wait and see. But it's a weird one. Pochettino ended so well. I think it's more about the structure of the club and the way he wanted to do things. It's not so much about performances. But apparently they went into meetings showing him, stats and data about where things went wrong. It's like, oh no, he just doesn't fill you with confidence that they're totally on top of what they're doing. But I have questions there. I think Man United will keep Ten Hag because I don't think they're convinced about the options out there. And I'm not convinced by Ten Hag at all. Villa, I mean, Unai Emery, Villa fans just think I've got an agenda. I don't. I'm not one of these Arsenal fans that hates Unai Emery at all. I really like him. But I don't know. It's going to be difficult managing Champions League football, but they've got the money, they've got the ambition, so they could do it. Tottenham with Postecoglou, they'll either get better players and kick on massively, or they'll fall away because they've been found out a little bit and they don't quite get the quality of player. So I don't really know. I'm just not convinced that everyone suddenly gets better. What I do think, though, and by the way, we might not necessarily get better. We ended on 89 points, so there's that. But what I do think is, I looked at that graphic that went around of the 20 Premier League clubs next season. It does look a stronger Premier League than last season. And I don't mean to be rude about these clubs, but when Sheffield United, Burnley and Luton came up, I think we were all pretty confident that they were going to go down. I think we all predicted that we all had them bottom 3. Off the top of my head, I don't know who's going down next season. Ipswich have a good manager in McKenna. And, the other clubs all feel like teams that have done things in the Premier League in the last few years. I might be wrong, but I think it could be more competitive from that front next season.
I agree. And also, I think when you look at Aston Villa and Tottenham, they had horrendous finishes to the season, both of them. You know what I mean?
That shouldn't be underestimated, Lee. Momentum.
No, it shouldn't be
next season. But yeah.
So if they start off poorly next season, that could be something in there. The drop off from Spurs to win were guaranteed at one stage Champions League football. You looked at it and you thought, right, they're guaranteed it. I honestly thought that they was guaranteed Champions League football. The drop off has been their end of season has been very, very poor, as Villa has as well. And Chelsea, I have to say that if you look at it, they would have been from January onwards. They'd have been in the top 4. It'd have been Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Chelsea were really looking like going somewhere, and they're going like, oh, we've got this new manager coming in and everything like that. Great. But they had a very, very good manager there in Pochettino. He'd sorted it all out and they was looking a real deal. The only one blip in there, I think their last couple of months was against Arsenal when we played really, really well that day. So I don't really know how Chelsea are going to go. I really don't know how they're going to go there. I think they're going to maybe take 2 steps back to go 1 forward again. I don't know. I think Man United, you don't think that they'll get rid of their manager, James? I think that they will. I think that
no, I don't think they love the options. I mean, McKenna, I think they might want for the future. but I think he's turning down Brighton and signing a new deal at Ipswich. I'm no experts on these guys. Like
No.
They might be brilliant, but I just don't think even De Zerbi, who I think is probably worth a gamble. But you're not, people aren't desperate to hire De Zerbi. They think, oh, he's probably a good option. He might be a really good, promising coach. I personally like him, but there's no guarantee. Like if Arteta walked, looking at the list of options, De Zerbi might be my favourite, but I'd probably wait for a Nagelsmann after the Germany job. I don't know. It's difficult.
Because there's not one set method, and we've all talked about it before. I mean, the list of talented managers out there has dwindled over the years to the point where it's all based off hope, belief, and more, I don't know, the finer details of management than it is on success, trophies, and what they've done now. But yeah,
I'm glad that Kieran McKenna's staying at Ipswich. I think that's the right thing for him to do at the moment.
Safe option. Yeah.
Has he signed yet, Lee? Has he signed the extension?
I think he's due to sign it today. I think I hear, but I think he's done a fantastic job at Ipswich, and I think I think that he needs to have a year in the Premier League and see where he can go. And I think Ipswich deserve that as well. I've always had a little soft spot for Ipswich. I don't know why. They beat us in the FA Cup in '78, but it's a lovely place to go. I'm really looking forward.
You've got a soft spot for everybody. Every other week, you got a soft spot for this team,
team. I quite like.
Who've you got a hard spot for, Lee? Huh?
Tottenham Hotspur.
I think
you know what you do. You go to certain grounds and you quite like them. I think like Ipswich was my first away ground that I went to outside London when I was younger. It was my first trip. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's why it holds special memories, I suppose. It's growing up as a kid.
No, I remember, was it 90s? I think 90s or early 2000s, they came up and there was that team that I think they finished sixth or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah, and it was one of the teams that you'd want them to do well because we were challenging for titles then, and you just look down the league and you see Ipswich doing well. Did we sell Jeffers to them? Why do I think that Jeffers had something to do with them? We bought Jeffers off Everton.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I don't know.
Maybe we did.
Where did we sell Jeffers to?
Do you know what, Ipswich? You've looked like going back in the day. They had Bobby Robson as manager. They were challenging for titles. They had some bloody good players. Yeah,
couldn't go.
It was never an easy place to go to. I remember going there. Had Paul Mariner up front who played for Arsenal. Eric Gates. They had Mick Mills, who was England captain. Butcher, Russell Osman. They had some bloody good players. You know what I mean? You go up there, you go up Portman Road. Good atmosphere, hostile atmosphere, and they'd normally always win. So
whatever.
Brilliant.
Apparently they won in Ketia and Smith Rowe. So.
Oh, fucking up. I love it.
Check. Let's go. Yeah.
I'll go there for the weekend if they do that.
But you can see them two players under McKenna at Ipswich kind of doing well. It wouldn't surprise me if Nketiah got 12 league goals for Ipswich next season. Do you know what I mean?
I don't give a shit what he does.
I don't see Smith Rowe going there, to be honest. I don't see Smith Rowe going
I think it was Smith Rowe. Nketiah was definitely mentioned. I think it was Smith Rowe.
I think
Smith Rowe. I'd be a good move for Smith Rowe.
No, I think like Aston Villa or someone like that for Smith Rowe.
Nah.
I think right now the competition's there too much for him as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his level now.
Yeah, but Emery like him, I think.
True. But Emery's got a lot of players there at his disposal now. But listen,
isn't Emery looking to buy Ross Barkley? I heard that Villa linked with Ross Barkley.
You're right. They're signing Ross Barkley on a free, apparently. Well, this is interesting. Obviously, see what happens with Paqueta, but maybe Smith Rowe to West Ham. I don't know.
Oh, good shout.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll be here for the transfer stuff anyway, people. We'll be doing.
We have a bit of dough as well, don't we?
Yeah, well, it depends what Kitty wants. The home one's out, so.
No, I think he means West Ham.
Oh,
we still have him. So that's a good shout, James. Very good shout.
Under Lopetegui, I'm not sure that is a good shout. I think McKenna at Ipswich would be a really good move for Smith Rowe. They'll play progressive football. He'll start every week. The pressure isn't going to be on. Do you know what I mean? I think he needs to look lower down and build his way back up.
Yeah, man, his buzz is gone. Like, it's not like he can still use that buzz from years ago and say, yeah, he deserves this. Go Ipswich, play your heart out. If they get relegated, you should be the one that gets sold to a Prem side, or you bring them back up. And the Ipswich ain't that far out of London. It's close enough to be in within an hour, 15, hour 20. It's a nice
Turkish has done the mileage check.
I've got the brochure. If they want it, where's the brochures? I'll send them out. Eddie, Emil, send me your addresses. Ramsdale.
Say, Emil, listen, I've checked. It's only an hour and 12 minutes on the train. Honestly, if you're there and back.
Lee, pass this brochure to Ramsdale's dad for me, mate, please. Next time you see him, tell him Ipswich is a beautiful place.
I just want to stress, I think he's been linked, guys. We're handing out brochures.
I'm on the job, mate. Any other towns that I need to sell? Yeah. No.
Well, no, but Aaron Ramsdale. Did you see? They're talking about Arsenal wanting around 30 million for him, and that apparently people have got off by the price tag.
He was at the
we
Southampton
need
game,
to sell a bit better this summer, I think.
Why was he at the Southampton game?
He's best mate is David Brooks.
Oh, okay.
They were together at Bournemouth, and they go to each other's games and all that. So.
But why did he go in fancy dress?
Oh, he actually said on the telly yesterday, like that they do it just as a bit of a crack, and they've done it. They've done it once before and they won or something, so they've kept up the tradition. Like, so if they get to a big final or something like that, the mates have to go in fancy dress, like, so quite a good thing, really, like, so.
I just thought to myself, if the whole point of it was to try and make himself more unrecognizable, he did the opposite. He probably drew more attention to himself.
He said on the telly he weren't recognised at first because he had the beard on and all that. But as soon as he took the beard off, people knew, like, So, but yeah, it's quite a good thing, like, and obviously, like, supporting his mate, like, So,
I mean, just going back to the transfer chat, we got like 8-9 episodes of this before the next season to do it, but we've got to do like a in and out episode, like who's got to go, how much, you know what I mean, how to be improved. So yeah,
next week's one I think is primed for that, leading into, well, obviously in June, into the transfer window stuff. So next week's episode we'll all have a list of ins and outs ready.
I've got my list ready.
I've got mine ready now. Ipswich is a nice place. Southampton is a beautiful place. Anywhere else, let me know.
There is a couple on there that are good.
Turkish has booked the coach already, the National Express. You're on it.
Driver, make a stop off on the way. Just drop him off there. Yeah, I'll give you an extra 20.
This is brutal.
So, Lee, what was you saying?
Sorry, Lee.
There's a couple on there that are good debates. I think there's some that are easy, but there are a few on there that are, at the moment, are a good debate.
I've got a couple of surprises. I've got a couple of
save it.
I won't reveal now.
You have to justify ins, outs, money spent roughly, and try and build a plan for the summer that we would all be happy with, and see how far it lies off the reality that Mikel Arteta provides. Let's do comments of the day, because there's no prediction table. Obviously, James, having won that one, he's got a star by his name. You won't see that till next season, but he does have a star by his name. Comments of the day. Has everyone got one?
No, I completely forgot.
You're on -1 to start game week 1 next year.
Oh my word, I completely forgot.
No, I'm joking. Don't worry. I knew you lot would forget. You see, I'm such a nice guy.
I've got one.
Don't want to drag me down, and but it's, you lot forget comments of the day. Be late if you want. It's all right. Why are we ducking?
Oh, you're top, man. You're top. But also, I probably shouldn't neglect the audience. So, oh well. Next week I'll be back. Go on, Jordan.
I've got one here. It's this is a nice one there from Ryan Sparkle. Best pod of the season so far. I expected the vibe to be a little more down and defeated after narrowly missing out on the title, but I'm glad to see I was wrong. The high energy was still there and genuinely one of the funniest pods of the season, and the perfect listen to pick my mood back up. Arsenal on the cusp of greatness, and next season will have the last laugh. I thought that was a good comment, because I think it reflects our tone. I think we kind of get the tone right in terms of we know when to kind of go in, and we know when to when to be fair and when to be positive and upbeat. And I think that there's been a few comments like that have said that we've got the tone right in terms of when it's time to put the boot in, we'll go in, you know, and we won't hold back. And then when it's time to be a bit more understanding, compassionate, fair, balanced, I think we do that well as well. So that comment.
You just lost the fight to your headphones. I see you struggling there, putting one ear on there.
You know what it is?
The crap.
You know what it is? I've got I'm listening to a work meeting at the same time, so I can't put the headphones fully on. So I'm multitasking. That's why I can't put the headphones fully on. But anyway,
you're in a meeting right now.
Isn't there Lord against doing two jobs at once, man? Where's Rishi Sunak, man? What's he fucking?
Listen, it's tough times out here, Turkish. You know, I've got bills to pay.
He's doing two jobs, getting paid by two different companies in the same hour. I teach you, Jordan, man. How'd you do that? How'd you do it? Let me get some earphones.
He's in a work meeting, and now they're all on Fourever Arsenal without giving permission. That is unacceptable. You just made them all famous, Jordan.
I had Ryan's one as well, but I've got one from Jay Dime saying, lads, I've watched nearly every Fourever Arsenal after each game. Big up yourself for all the hard work. It's heartbreaking getting that close and then losing it at the end. Next year, we must be properly prepared. And Callum said might be the best pod this season, and it's the final one. Never laughed so much at a podcast in his life. A lot of love.
I don't remember it. Were we that funny?
Yeah, I thought that as well. I couldn't remember if we were that funny either, but the comments don't lie.
No, we're always funny. We're always funny.
What we like. Go on, Lee.
I've got Micah Pez 95. Lee, was great meeting you briefly after the final game. Wish we could have talked more, but I'm glad I've got to tell you.
Said no one.
I'm a big fan of the pod. Also walked past James afterwards, but he looked too busy. Maybe next time I'll make the rest of the Fourever gang too. Anyway, thank you for a great season. Much love from the USA. So,
what a load of nonsense. I've got this comment. You're amazing. You're brilliant. Really great. Oh, but James isn't.
James, looked busy. He was busy.
I must admit, Lee, I didn't see that comment. I didn't see
busy
that comment.
doing what? I don't know. Like, you know, perhaps he's having a meeting with Graham. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm seeing Graham today, actually.
Oh, like, you know, so.
Yeah, we've got a very special tactical insight coming out. So.
What is it? A short one? Is that what it is?
That's what makes it special.
You know what? Actually,
only 10 minutes, guys. It's a special one. We got a special one.
With the notes he's been sending me, I think it's a
long one.
Yeah. we might hit an hour. He's been sending me notes since Monday, bless him.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I haven't played so much this season at the games. I must admit, like, you know what I mean? I don't know if he's busy or whatever, but
he's there, man.
Yeah, he's always there. I think sometimes he has to jump, get home or whatever, like. But very, very good guy.
Well, like, and I was going to say, while we're all, having our fun, you won't find anyone more committed than him to what he is. He works so hard. I mean, when we put together Tactical Insight, right? It's a 20-minute show, and I've probably covered about a quarter or a third of what he sent me. Like, he makes the job easy because his research, his depth is unbelievable. So go support that later when it all comes out. I know Lee Judge will be watching before bed. So
there you go, people. There you go. Make sure you subscribe, put the notification bell on, do all of that good stuff. Have we hit 1,000 likes yet? Hopefully we have. It's been 10 days since the last pod. People have been asking us, and here it is, coming up close to an hour. Obviously, it's not the usual because it's not the usual. We're in the, I was about to say transfer window. It's the post season, let's say. Reminder: once a week, every week, you will see Fourever Arsenal. Again, leave your comments, suggestions on type of content you want to see. We'll be covering the transfer stuff, but if you do want to see anything different, special episodes, let us know. Similar to the draft one we did, and we'll try our best to accommodate. Obviously, big up eToro. Fourever Arsenal has been powered by eToro today. There's a link in the description, and there's a link in the comment section pinned. Go show them some love. If you're a trader, if you want to get into trading, then they're the company for you. Aside from that, I believe we are done. Jordan, James, Lee, love for the love as always. People, love for the love as always. Make sure
20 years ain't waited. Bigger fish to fry. Sorry,
Also,
Gunnar.
that impression of me Expressions did was just absolutely not needed.
Oh, we gotta have
There
the
was no
conversation.
need.
What
There
did he
was
say?
no
We gotta have
need.
the conversation.
Huh?
What
There
did he
was
say?
no
We've
need.
got to have. What did he say? I'm not saying Mikel Arteta out, but we've got to have the conversation.
Yeah. You nailed it.
He actually nailed it. That was the best bit of it. I can't even lie.
I was listening to it going, this is my fan cam.
Big up X, big up KG, fuck X, fuck KG. On that note, forever Arsenal. Love for the love. We're at people. Peace.